In this video, I'm gonna share with you the best niches for a social media marketing agency. For the past 2 years, I have been building my agency from Brazil, serving clients in the US. And with this channel, I want to show you how you can create your own agency without being in the operation. So if you're a videographer, a photographer, a social media manager, a copywriter, it doesn't matter. You don't need to be doing the work yourself. You don't need to be shooting the videos, editing the videos, posting the videos, because you will become an agency. So your role as the agency owner is to manage a team that will provide the services for your clients. And when you transition between being the service provider and being the agency owner, obviously you will have more costs as an agency, and this means that you need to be able to charge higher tickets, and people will pay more for you as an agency because first, they understand that you have a structure, and second, they understand that you know what you're doing because you have a niche. And that's why having a niche is so important, because people will understand and see that you are a reference, that you are the authority to create content for that specific target audience. Just think about it. If you wanted to build a hospital, would you hire a construction company that has done hundreds of hospitals before, or would you hire one that would still need to learn all the specifics and how to build a hospital? Of course, you choose the first case because you know that they understand how to build a hospital, and you won't have to pay for the learning curve of another company to understand and learn how to create a hospital. So having a niche from scratch is a very important decision that you need to make in order to be able to scale and charge higher tickets from your clients. So with no further ado, let's dive into this video. So guys, this is the diagram that I use in order to find out if a niche is a good option or not for my agency, and is based on 4 different variables that you need to analyze one by one and see if those variables are met or not by that niche. And the first variable obviously is the need, right? So before you attack a niche, you need to understand if they need on average your services. So we are doing social media videos, we are managing social media. Does that niche need to be on social media, or they are more an offline business, or it doesn't really matter, it won't bring so much more business to them if they have a proper channel? Because if you find out that most businesses in that niche don't care about social media or don't really need, it's not making them much more revenue to be on social media, you will find very hard to have people pay you and pay you a lot of money for that. So that's the first thing you need to understand. Does that niche need my services or not? The second variable is the complexity. And I want to take some time to dive into the complexity aspect because it is probably the most important variable in order for you not only to decide if that niche is good or not for you, but also how much to charge for that service to that specific niche, right? So the whole idea behind the complexity factor really is the amount of money we pay for the videographer, right? So let's say on averages, to give an example, that you're paying $1,000 for an 8-hour video session, right? So that's how you're paying, and that's your cost to capture the content. I'm not talking about editing, just for the person to be there with their equipment and shoot the videos for you. So if you're paying $1,000 for the video session, that's where the complexity factor takes place, right? Because I will give you an example. Let's say that you are in the law niche, right? And obviously you can create low complexity and high complexity videos for any niche. For instance, if you go on Instagram and you type for lawyers, you'll find people that are doing super complex videos like acting and having all this scene changes and clothing changes and the sketches, so, and the storytelling behind. So those are very complex videos, and that's why they have millions of followers, because it is really outstanding. But at the end of the day, does your lawyer, your local lawyer that hired you, does that person really need to be on that level? Do they need to have such complex videos? And the answer is no. You can have super well done videos, very engaging, especially with the editing, that are good enough for them to establish a presence online and to be seen as an authority. So they will drive traffic and they will drive business from those videos that are not necessarily extremely complex, right? And based on my own experience doing videos with lawyers, I know that with a 8-hour video session, especially if you have scripted videos and you're able to bring in a teleprompter, you are able to generate easily 36 pieces of videos. And then if your contract with them is 12 videos per month, this means that with one video session, you have enough content for 3 months, right? So when you're doing your financials, you will understand that you're paying $1,000 and you're getting 3 months worth of content. And if you divide that by 3 months, you will see that your videography cost to handle a lawyer is something around $333.33, right? So this is a good number, because if you charge them $1,500 or $2,000, you'll have a good margin on that, right? So this complexity analytics of that specific niche makes me understand that a lawyer is on that variable a good niche to be on, because I can rearrange my complexity side of the videography and I can have a low cost for the videographer, which is, just a spoiler for you, the most costly variable of our agency, right? So if I am able to take that videography cost and dilute that to more months, I am reducing my monthly cost. And since I charge monthly from my client, I'm making more margin, I'm making more money on that, right? But the example, continues, right? Let's say that we're not doing lawyers anymore and we're analyzing, plastic surgeons, right? So if you think about it, what is an engaging video for a plastic surgeon? You can, of course, have them sit down on their office and talk about procedures. But when it comes to plastic surgery and aesthetics, people want to see results. People want to see more hands-on stuff, not just, generically people talking about procedures. So it is a good idea to have a more hands-on, like a documentary style video for that doctor. And I'm doing this for a couple plastic surgeons as well. And this is probably the most engaging type of video, when you have the plastic surgeon with the patient, even doing the surgery, or doing the surgery plan with that patient, marking the body and stuff like that. This is a very engaging type of video. So if you analyze that, how much content can you create with one surgery, right? And the surgery takes hours, so you're probably not able to have the surgeon at the office and then at the hospital doing the surgery. You will need to focus on having one video session in the surgery, and you're only able to take how many pieces of video, different pieces of video, to compound your content plan, right? So from my experience, I understood that with one surgery, we're able to make, let's say, 5 different videos, one of it being more hands-on, the other, being more answering questions, etc., with one surgery, right? But you are still paying the videographer a full day to be there doing videos from the surgery, right? So 5 videos for $1,000. If you have a contract of 12, even if you make that 6 videos in one surgery, you still need 2 times $1,000, because you need to be on 2 surgeries to generate 12 videos as a cost for the videographer. So your content creation just for the videographer, instead of being $333, is now $2,000, right? So you need to have a conversation with yourself and think, am I able to charge at least double of that so I can have 50% margin? Or, charging a plastic surgeon $4,000 a month, is that surreal? Is that too much? Will I encounter, a lot of objections based on the pricing? If the answer is yes, then the complexity aspect of that niche is not good, right? Because you will not find so many people that are willing to pay you that amount of money to do their videos. So this is just a quick overview on the complexity factor of our diagram here, but that's not the only two that we have. We also need to take into consideration the budget, the average revenue of a specific niche, to understand that, whether or not you're able to pay me $2, $3, $4, $5, $8,000 a month, depending on the complexity, depending on the niche. So you need to take that into account as well. And the last factor is the quantity, right? So how many businesses in that niche I have throughout the country or in my local area. If it's a very limited amount of businesses in that niche, you will probably find a hard time having them choose you as the agency. Whereas if you have a lot of people in that niche and a lot of availability, you're easily able to get a lot of yeses and have your own clientele within that niche, right? So the first one we already started talking about is the lawyers, right? So thinking about the need, do lawyers need to be on social media? And if you take the time to do some research and to talk to a couple lawyers, right now there is a big opportunity on social media, because lawyers are promoting themselves in very, very expensive channels like TV, like Google ads that are extremely expensive, the bidding for lawyers, and also billboard. So those three options are extremely expensive, and not a lot of lawyers are taking advantage of the social media market. So this is a very good opportunity for you to educate lawyers and, having them give it a go, right? I would say that yes, they do have a need for social media marketing services, for video production. A lot of them have no clue how to create engaging content, especially in a field like law that is sometimes very boring. So if you're able to have a nice copywriting and create engaging videos, you will have a good time finding lawyers to pay for your services. The complexity aspect of it, I just did the analysis with you, so we understand that on the complexity level, lawyers are a go for us. So this is a good aspect and a good variable for us to try to reach lawyers. Budget, do lawyers make enough money to pay you $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 a month? Yes, they do, especially if you take some lawyers that are more senior or even manage either a small or a medium or a big law firm. So yes, they do have the money to pay for marketing services. And of course, there are a lot of lawyers out there. Second niche is realtors, right? So let's take a look. Do realtors need to have social media videos and social media marketing? Yes, especially because right now a lot of realtors are taking things to another level, right? So they have those very nice videos of the listings and with drone footage and stuff like that. So yeah, they need to find a way to conquer a space, and they need to find a way to be on social media and competing against those other realtors. So I would definitely say that realtors need to be on social media, putting out their listings, creating rapport, and being perceived as someone that has good listings and will help you find a nice property for you, right? The complexity level here for realtors, I would say that is tricky, because how many videos of a listing can you create in one day? So are you booking a full day and going to visit different listings with those people? Are you going to structure your content in a way that you will do a listing video and then you'll take some parts of the listing, like this closet here, and talk about specifics of a closet, types of closet or whatever? So are you able to, within one listing, are you able to create multiple interesting and engaging pieces of content? So this is I've never done realtors, the expertise to share around that, but I could potentially think that we can dilute our video session and creating different kinds of videos talking about specifics, like a nice type of flooring, some tip around lighting, how to do the lighting for the living room or for the room or whatever. So I think of ways that we can lower the complexity level and try to not be super expensive with our videographer. So I would say that it is a good complexity variable, but not as good as a lawyer, for example. So for the lawyers, I'll just put 2 checks here. Budget. Do realtors have money to pay for your marketing services? Of course. If they sell $1 million, $2 million house, they will make a lot of money in commission and they can pay you easily for your services. So I don't think the budget is a problem here. And are there enough realtors? Yes, there are enough realtors out there. Okay, so bringing in the other example that we gave, plastic surgeons. Do they need? I would say yes, they do need. As far as lead generation, like proper lead generation, probably they make more money and they make more revenue generating leads with Google ads, not so much as inside social media, unless you have something like an influencer marketing strategy, driving them a lot of traffic based on people that have a lot of based on people that have a huge audience. So social media would be a good idea for that. So it depends, right? I would say that they do need social media, especially to showcase their work and be able to present themselves as a personal brand. That's very important for a plastic surgeon as well. So yes, they do need for branding purposes. Probably for revenue generation, like immediate revenue generation, Google ads would be a good idea. Or if you're able to provide an influencer marketing kind of services, that would be awesome as well. So I wouldn't at first try to reach plastic surgeons based on our business model because it can be very costly and you will need to be able to charge higher tickets of that. But if you're able to overcome that, then you have a very nice niche to be on, because they do have a lot of money to pay and there are enough plastic surgeons out there for you to make yourself for life. So this is the diagram that I use, and this is how my mind goes around when I'm trying to find out if a niche is a good fit or not for my agency. Feel free to use that. Feel free to leave in the comments below some input that you also have, and if you have any questions, please leave them on the comments below as well. I hope you liked this video. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next one.